Good morning. Hello. Are we live? Have we got it happening today? Let's see. Hello, notifications. Yes. It worked. It always makes me happy when, when the things work the way that they are supposed to. So let me just, let's roll. All right. So today, I'm just sharing this over and talking all things Dreamgineering and manifestation. All right. That's there. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? Hope you're awesome. All right, so I've got that shared. I can see that we're working. All right, fantastic. I've got my coffee this morning because I've been coaching and doing all of the things. So I had the 6 o'clock call, my 6 a.m. call, and then I had a 7 a.m. Save Your Ass training, and then I just had a coaching session, and now I've got you guys, and I'm needing all of the coffee. So the things that I wanted to talk to you about today are the power of intention, the power of focus. So what seems to be a really common theme at the moment that I've been talking with my clients about, and maybe this is something that you've found for yourself as well, is that there is a whole lot of stuff being thrown at us. So we've got, I want to just move my coffee over here so I don't send it flying across the carpet because, talking with hands and as well, actually. That's better. Okay, so we're in the bedroom today because I've got one child on Zoom out there, another child on Zoom over there. I've got tilers tiling everywhere, so I thought I would hide in here. So hopefully the volume is a little bit better, or the noise distractions are not quite as intense as what they had been. So I guess like the thing that I've been seeing more and more with my clients and people that I've been talking to is that there is a whole lot of stuff going on in the world at the moment, and it's really quite it can be quite challenging to sort of like try and recalibrate. Let me know that you guys can hear me as well. It can be really hard to sort of recalibrate and do all the things. Yes. All right. Wanted to make sure that we had volume. That's good. Getting to, I guess, like when we've got all the things coming at us, it can be really overwhelming. Now, I've had people say that they've got all of these ideas about what they want to do, but they haven't had the time, that they've got so many clients and that they haven't got the space to think creatively, that it's really been quite challenging actually to work out how to do what it is that they really want to do. So I work with a lot of practice owners, I work with a lot of coaches, I work with a lot of other mentors and people who are wanting to build, create and grow really excellent online businesses and in the service-based business side of things, right? So I'm talking in the coaching space or the therapy space, or not so much selling products online, but certainly selling yourselves online. And what they're all telling me is that they've got all of these ideas, like all of the ideas, imagine them all kind of like floating up in the space above you, and it's like, how do I pull this one down and make that work? So if you imagine that there's all of these balloons floating around in the sky and they've all got these strings on them, right? They look all really pretty and they're all like, but it's kind of overwhelming because you've got idea and idea and idea and idea and idea and idea and idea. And how is it that you grab one of the strings of these balloons, pull it down and actually start to take action on one of these things when you've also got everything in your world that's also competing for your attention, from your clients to your children, to your health, to your friends, to your social life, to your healthcare, to the mindset work that we all know that we need to do to try to find some fun and lightheartedness in our world, as well as trying to, either get more referrals or put more marketing out there. Everything that demands our attention can be quite overwhelming And then I'm like, all right, yes. And then you've also got all of these ideas, and how do you know what to pull on and what to work on next? So part of the thing that I think is super important to look at is we are smack bang, a day short, smack bang in the middle of October, right? And we have not got long until the end of the year. We've maybe got, another 8 or 9 weeks of being super productive, because the last couple of weeks are kind of like a write-off for most of us as we start to prep into Christmas and getting ready for all of that, et cetera, et cetera. And, not to mention all the things that come with Christmas this year here in Australia. So we've got all of this stuff going on. So I think if we look at the next 8 or 9 weeks, what is it specifically that you really need to work on? What is it like in terms of the projects that you really need to work on? One of the things that I was just talking to a client about is just making sure that you have got some support around you in terms of a personal assistant or a virtual assistant or an admin person, so that you can offload some of the things that you've been on the hamster wheel of doing, giving that to somebody else to take over and take control over. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't oversee it, and there might be a little transition time where you have to train them, but in an ideal world, it shouldn't be, hopefully, too hard for you to be able to get this stuff off your plate. And that, I think, like one of those things, just getting that done and really aiming for that to be done by the end of the year is very reasonable, and it's actually a really smart and effective use of your time. It's also a really smart and effective use of your financial resources. As if you've got someone going like that, and if you think, all right, well, I can hand off some of this admin work, the PA work, over to them, you might pay them, let's say $20 an hour, right? Yet you go and create all of this other time. If you get one more client as a result of that person doing that hour's work, if you can get, 1 or 2 more clients who are spending on average with you, maybe even, a couple of grand a year, you're well and truly in front for that time and space. And I know that if you've got someone doing, $100 worth of work for you, that might be like 5 hours. Hey, Jeanette, 5 hours worth of work in terms of admin, personal assistant type stuff, whatever. That 5 hours you can be using to generate 1 more client. You do that once a week, and all of a sudden you've got at least 4 new clients a year. You've made $10,000 and you've invested $400. So it's a smart use of your time. Trust that made sense. So you pay for 4 or 5 hours worth of admin, and you use those 4 or 5 hours to go and generate maybe 4 new clients. Then even if that client is only spending with you on average a couple of $1,000s a year, that's very conservative, then it's a really great return on investment, and it's a really great use of your time. I suspect that if you're a coach, a therapist, a trainer, a mentor, an author, someone like that in a service-based business, a photographer even, it's doing admin, doing PA work, doing your accounting even, is probably not your zone of genius. And you've got to think about what is the best use of your time, what is the most profitable use of your time, and looking at outsourcing some of that stuff. So getting that down. And then what I would like you to do is go, all right, what am I going to focus on in the first quarter of next year? So, which is not far away. So January, February, March. And then what are you going to focus on for April, May, June? Now, a lot of people, when I've spoken to them, they've got, like, we were sort of talking about, like, all of these balloons in the air. And it's like, okay, so in the first quarter of next year, you've got more time because you've outsourced some stuff. Go and pull on one of those balloons, and maybe that's where you might start to write your book. Maybe that's where you might start to develop your online courses or your online programs, or maybe that's where you start up a new side hustle because that's something that you want to do, or a completely different business that you might want to do. In order for you to get clear on all of that, though, it's also really important that you drag it back. And I've actually got this on my list of things to do today, like literally today. So I'll be doing this with you. The thing that I need you to do is to spend some time immersing yourself into one of your probable futures, into writing in one of your probable futures. So if you imagine that we're here right now, right? We're here, we're kind of like the trunk of the tree. And we've got this branch, this branch, this branch, and this branch. All of these are potential futures and potential pathways that you can walk down and that you can start to create or manifest or co-create or a Dreamgineer or whatever you want to do. We've got these 4 paths, for instance. And one of the things that you need to spend some time doing is going, all right, well, what do I actually want? What does my ideal day look like? What does my ideal work week look like? Conversation I just had and I've had with a few people recently, it's like you might not want to work 5 days a week with one-on-one clients. You might not want to work 5 days a week, full stop. And that's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to. You might want to work 2 days a week. You might want to work 5 half days. That works really well for me. I find for me personally, I really like to do like my work, like this kind of work. I like to do this stuff every day because otherwise it's like going to the gym. If I don't go to the gym on a Monday, it's a lot harder to go to the gym on a Tuesday, which is really hard for then, if I don't, to get to the gym on a Wednesday, et cetera, when we're not in lockdown. So for me, I like to keep this momentum building, my motivation, my inspiration, my feeling connected to my audience, me feeling connected to my purpose and what I'm here to do. I like to do that every day. Because otherwise I find it like, it's like, oh, I can kind of forget how fun it is and how much I love it. It's a really weird kind of thing because I don't have back-to-back one-on-one clients all day, every day anymore. That's not in my ideal world. That might be in your ideal world. And this can change. So what I would really strongly encourage you to do today is to sit down or on the weekend, spend a few hours doing this. What does your ideal day look like? What does your ideal work week look like? What is it that you want to really be doing? Because that will then inform your choices about what plans you put in place for, say, the first quarter of next year. Otherwise, it's kind of like, I feel a little bit like I'm almost in a pinball machine where it's like, okay, we're doing this. Okay, great. We're going to go over here. Oh, look at that. Bang. Oh, look at that. We're going over here. Oh, bang. Look at that. We're going over here. And you can be very reactive and you're going to get pushed into a certain direction. And you might be like, hold on a second. That's not what I want to be doing. I don't want to be doing that at all. So it's important for you to be able to articulate what it is that you want, because then you can make decisions around what you then do and how you are then being and how you're going to create and manifest the world that you want to be able to live in and the business that you want to be able to live in. And I think a big thing for me is that I used to have a really used to have a bit of a thing in my head about, oh, well, you know what, I really should be working 5 days a week because otherwise I'm really lazy, or I should really be doing this, otherwise I'm never going to get everything done, or I really should be doing this, otherwise the people are going to think that I'm just, you know, taking all of their money and, and not delivering on what I've sold, which is all, you know, bullshit, because so long as I'm able to give you what you've bought and be there for you when you need, depending on what it is that you've purchased or how you've decided to work with me, then, you know, it's actually nobody else's business how many hours a day I work or anything else. It's just this really weird deprogramming thing that we need to do from getting out of feeling like an employee, even in your own business, feeling like an employee and being that kind of worker bee mentality. So your homework today is Dreamgineering, my friends. Sit there and go, all right, I imagine that it is the 1st of November 2022 and my business looks exactly the way that I want it. My day looks exactly the way that I want it. What does that look like? And start writing that in. I've got my journal right here. Make sure that you are journaling on this with a pen or your favorite pencil or whatever you use. And the power of this is huge, right? The power of focus. And I don't want to go all law of attraction on you, but the way that quantum physics works is you put this intention out there, which is energy, and it comes more into being when we write, because it's really powerful. And then the universe tries to give you what it is that you want, right? You've just got to make sure once all of this is in place that you are then asking yourself, all right, that's awesome. What's the next required action that I now need to take in order to bring this stuff to life? Then you've got to trust. You've got to take that leap of faith. You've got to go and do the thing, whether it's buying a program, whether it's putting out your marketing, whether it's resourcing yourself in a different way, whether it's going and booking out a day for you to go sit at the day spa if you're allowed to do that, depending on where it is that you're living, whether it's going and buying a new computer, whether it's investing in a photo shoot, whether it's going, all right, I need to go and learn some more stuff. I've got to go and upskill in this area. What is the next required action that you need to take in order to bring this stuff to life? And I would be looking at going, all right, what do I need to do for the rest of this year, which is revisiting what we were talking about before? What are we going to do in the first quarter of next year? And then what are we going to do in April, May, June of next year, so that you are constantly working towards you bringing these balloons that are floating all around in the ceiling, bringing these balloons down, grabbing those strings and taking action on them, because they're all your dreams, they're all your goals, they're all your dreams, they're all your desires, they're all these things that you want to get out there and create. And if you don't go and do something about it, those balloons just flitter off and they go to someone else. All right, I want to quickly show you something. How are you? Good? You're doing great. My daughters walked in, they snuck in behind here. One was sitting on the bed and just ducked down because she knew what I was going to do. And my other daughter, my oldest daughter, who's in lockdown life at the minute, you just got to meet her as well. So that was Tiana. Hang on, I'll show you. Hi, Tiana. I think I've got my headphones in, I won't be able to hear you properly. Esri, do you want to pop up and say hello? Golly, the beauty of Facebook Live. So, incidentally, I just want to put out one other thing actually about your dream days and your ideal work days and stuff like this. Hilariously, I wrote in my journal many years ago what my ideal day looks like. And one of them was that all my kids are home and that we're all hanging out and we're all having fun. Homeschool and Zooming wasn't on the agenda. My 15-year-old daughter is yelling at me. Because yes, I manifested this. Like this is part of my ideal day. It's having the kids at home. It's having Dom home most of the time. Oh, look, there's Tiana. She's just joined. And, this is part of the manifestation, having fun, having really great connection and laughing and being silly and all that sort of stuff. So that is that, my friends. This stuff that you write in your journals comes true. It might not always look the way that you expect. I mean, after all, we're not in the beach house that I manifested this almost exact scene on, but that's okay. The windows are similar. This stuff comes true. So you've got to spend the time doing this. All right. You know what you need to do. You need to get yourselves out there, have a whole ton of fun doing it, go help some people, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome. Have a rockin' day, and I will see you. If not before, I'll see you tomorrow. And there's one last look at the girls being crazy heads. Bye.